Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Hostility, and today I am back with another gaming PC video. Actually, first one of the year, so welcome guys to the 2016 year of gaming PCs, and I know I'm a little bit late, but whatever. Let's go ahead and get started. Anyways, just a couple of things that I need to get out of the way before I do start. Gameplay in the background is some Black Ops 3 zombies. It's actually pretty boring. It's me and Tom playing to round 40. We're pretty much just camping on the catwalk, but I really don't have any other gameplay, and the audio is muted because there's music playing in the background and there's the commentary, so there's that. Also, I haven't been uploading a lot, and you know how I usually do that, but we're not going to worry about that. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. And if the mic seems off and whatever, I do apologize. My recording setup is actually not the best right now, so yeah. Basically, I need to get new gameplays, I need to get a new recording setup, I need to overhaul my video process making, but that's a whole other video. We're here to kick off the PC build, the $600 PC build actually. This is one of the first ones that I did last year, and it was actually pretty successful. In my opinion, I reckon the $600 build is actually a really solid one. It'll help you, or it will give you stellar 1080p performance at 1080p 60 high settings and even ultra settings, maybe with the AAA titles that are coming out this year, or in future years you might have to turn the settings down. But I mean, this computer actually is very good for 1080p for getting started. You know, if you're running one 1080p monitor, you're only gaming, you're not too serious, you just want a PC that you can play games of, this is perfect for you. Also, very great computer for beginners. $600 now actually gets you a lot more than it did last year, and it's just crazy to see how the technology has changed. But with that being said, let's go ahead and kick off the build with the CPU, which I have chosen to be the Intel Core i3-6100 3.7 GHz dual core, and this is of course on the Skylake platform, so you do get DDR4, you do get all those fancy Skylake features. And the i3s are actually really undermined or underrated processors. A lot of people, when you say, oh yeah, I have an i3, they'll ridicule you and they'll laugh at you, but that's actually not the fact, because when I was running an i3 before, on Ivy Bridge mind you, that thing is actually still very viable even today. You know, popped in a 950 with that thing, and you can still get really good performance on Black Ops 3. You can play high on Black Ops 3, 60 FPS, no problem, which is to me is absolutely insane. And this being a Skylake processor is going to give you even better performance. Now I've just chosen to choose Intel for this side. There's not going to be two builds like last year's $600 gaming PC. Yeah, so the i3 is clocked at 3.7 GHz, so yeah, really good single core performance. That's pretty much all you need for games, and you also have the horsepower when you need it if you are converting video, or if you are editing, or if you are doing more CPU intensive stuff. But if you are a content creator, then you probably want to step up to an i5 or even an i7. But i3 does get the job done, perfect for gaming, and yeah, very good processor. So going on to the motherboard, I've chosen the Gigabyte GA-H170M D3H MicroATX board. Now that is a long name, but Gigabyte makes fantastic boards. I use a lot of Gigabyte boards in my builds. They're fantastic, they have a lot of great features at a great price. So this one's a little bit of a lower end model, but you can still get away with, you know, all the features that you need. So this is the H170 platform, or the chipset. So of course the Skylake chipset, it'll give you everything that you need. You have plenty of SATA ports, PCI Express port to connect to your graphics card. Obviously you won't be able to do SLI or Crossfire, but that's not that big of a deal. You have plenty of USB ports at the back, front I/O connectors, USB 3. I'm not sure if this one actually has 3.1, but if it does, that'll be even a better thing. But yeah, it's an overall very good motherboard, very durable. May not be the best budget option, but you probably want to get something that lasts. Otherwise, you can upgrade to something a little bit better, or maybe even Z170. That's totally up to you. So, in my opinion, this motherboard is fantastic for this build, and it gives you everything that you need at a pretty good price, and will last you a long time. Now, so going on to the memory, I've chosen the Kingston HyperX Fury Black 8GB DDR4 at 2133 megahertz. Now this is only one stick, so in future if you want to go dual channel, you can just chuck in another 8GB stick and you have 16 gigs of RAM. But for the time being, one 8GB stick at 2133 and DDR4 will be more than enough to run your games, to run basic processes on your computer like web browsing, Spotify, whatever you use on your computer, just fine. 8GB pretty much is the baseline today standard for RAM to keep your computer running smoothly. If you are doing a little bit more intensive stuff, you probably want to step up to 16 gigs of RAM, but at this budget, I doubt that you will. And for the price, it's actually pretty decent. 2133 is a standard DDR4 speed, so you can overclock if you wish, but memory overclocking is terribly painful and really, really difficult. But you know, 2133 is just more than enough, and I think 8GB will be fine. So I'm actually pretty surprised what I could do with the storage on this build, actually. So I have an SSD and a hard drive combo. So with the SSD, I've chosen the ADATA Premier SP550 240GB SSD. And ADATA, not really a well-known brand, but they actually do make fantastic SSDs. This is more of a budget SSD, but it's still got 240GB of storage, which is plenty to put your operating system, your programs, and maybe a couple games that you access regularly, and be able to run them at insanely fast speeds. Like, we're talking 500 megabits per second, and that's pretty much the baseline for any SSD. So you're getting a cheap SSD, a lot of storage, and pretty much this like not that bad performance. Now, if you want something faster, then obviously you're going to have to go with an M.2 or a PCIe SSD, but obviously you can't do that in this budget. So either way, this SSD will give you fantastic boot times, and you will be able to run your programs really, really quickly, just make your computer really snappy. So yeah, I'm actually surprised that I could actually fit in an SSD in a $600 build. SSDs are getting cheaper, it's a no-brainer to put one in your system. Now going on to the hard drive, I've chosen the Seagate Barracuda 1TB 3.5-inch 7200 RPM drive. And Seagate is a fantastic brand, not as good as Western Digital in my opinion. Seagate has a higher failure rate, but that shouldn't stop you because Seagate still is a very reliable brand. 7200 RPM, that it will take a little bit more power, but I mean, you still have 1TB of storage. Very, very good price for this drive, and you can stick in all your music, photos, videos. I don't really judge people on what they put on their computers, but that has plenty of room. 1TB is more than enough to put in all your extra junk, all your extra files that you don't really access on a regular basis, and just to keep your SSD clean. So yeah, if you want something a little bit more reliable, obviously you got to step up to maybe a Western Digital Caviar Blue, but this will do the job just fine. Now going on to the video card, I've chosen the EVGA GeForce GTX 950 2GB Superclocked plus ACX 2.0, and that is another really, really long name. But EVGA makes fantastic NVIDIA cards. You all know this. EVGA is a very, very solid brand, and the 950, honestly, probably the king of 1080p price to performance. Like, this card is just insane performance at 1080p. Obviously, if you step up to 1440p or 4K, you're not going to get very good performance with a 950. But you know, someone buying a 950 at this budget probably does not have a 4K monitor. So yeah, very, very good performance at 1080p. This is also a little bit nicer one, so I put in a little bit more money into this graphics card. It's a Superclocked Plus, and so basically what that means is that it comes overclocked out of the factory, so you get extra performance out of the box, and you have the ability to push it even further, especially with that ACX 2.0 cooler, which will keep things nice and frosty. It has 2GB of VRAM, and that is honestly more than enough for 1080p, or just pretty much the norm, the standard. A lot of people will say, oh, maybe you should step up to a 4GB card, but honestly, if you're running 1080p high, you don't need more than 2GB. Maybe if you're on Ultra and you have extra shaders and all the fancy ass crap that probably you barely notice, you'll need more than 2 gigs of VRAM, or if you're running at a higher resolution. But like I said, no one at buying this PC should be running at a higher resolution than 1080p. So yeah, 950 is a very good card. This one especially. So this card basically will give you really good performance. Now, going on to the case, I've chosen Corsair's, one of Corsair's new cases actually. It's the Corsair Carbide Series 88R MicroATX mid-tower case. Now, this case looks very aesthetically pleasing. Looks a lot nicer than what they were offering last year. And it's a lot more clean. There's no 5.25-inch bay, so it keeps the front nice and just one panel. And there's a lot of room in there to put all your components in, more than enough to fit this whole build in and have room for a little bit more expansion. Also, there's very great cable management on Corsair cases. You really cannot go wrong with a Corsair case, especially one of these new ones. I'm actually pretty jealous of what they've come out with. It is a MicroATX case, so if you want to upgrade your motherboard to an ATX, you probably have to get a new case. And it's a mid-tower, so it's nice and small, it's nice and compact, not too large, and yeah, I'm pretty sure it has a window as well. And yeah, in my opinion, very aesthetically pleasing, and it is a reasonable price. Now, going on to the last component of the build, the power supply, and I've gone with the EVGA SuperNOVA GS 550 watt 80 plus gold certified fully modular ATX power supply. Probably the longest name on this whole list, but this EVGA honestly has been the king of power supplies for 2015 and hopefully 2016. And you can choose to disagree with me there, but EVGA has offered so many great power supplies, like their G2 series with the 750 watt. That thing is absolutely fantastic. Now with this 550 watt, it is 80 plus gold certified, so that means your power supply will run very efficient, save you money on your power bill. It is fully modular, so pretty much you don't have to stick in all the cables that you don't need, especially like the Molex connectors and extra SATA connectors, unlike with a modular or like just a normal power supply. This actually makes more sense to go with than a Corsair CX, which is a tier 4 unit, whereas this one is a tier 1 unit, which means your PC will be less likely prone to blowing up. I don't know if that made sense, but the EVGA makes really great power supplies that don't blow up, tier 1 power supplies that are really cheap. And it did cost a little bit more than one of the budget power supplies, but it is worth it. And 550 watts gives you more than enough room to expand and maybe add in more hard drives, maybe even overclock your card. So yeah, fantastic power supply at a really great price. You definitely can't go wrong with EVGA power supplies. So that pretty much wraps up the build. Thank you guys so much for watching. The total of the build actually comes to $628.66 as of the 19th of February 2016. You can find the links for the PC part picker, list, all the prices, where to buy your components if you are planning on building these PC. Check down the description. That'll be like your Bible, pretty much. Also, don't forget to, while you're down in the description, don't forget to follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and also follow me on Twitch. I try and live stream as often as I can, and I'll pretty much be either playing Black Ops 3 or League of Legends or other games as they come out. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up the video there. This video wasn't as up to par as my other PC build videos because this one's just like 720p and the gameplay wasn't as good, but I promise I will be revamping my PC gaming videos, PC build videos, and trying to make them better. So if you did enjoy this video and it helps you out a little bit, or if you did enjoy it, please be sure to smack that like button. It is really much appreciated. Also subscribe for more gaming PC content like this. I will be posting gaming PC builds at least twice a month, so there will be 2 new gaming PC vids every month, which is like double than last year. Also, leave in the comments below what you think about this build, your opinions, what you would change. Any feedback at all is very much appreciated. And also comment below what budget you want me to do next. Unless you guys change my mind, I'm probably gonna go with a $1,000 gaming PC. But yeah, that is the decision is going to be left up to you. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everybody.